But here's the most important thing that Democrats like Brad Lander are missing. According to a new NBC poll, 51% of Americans say that they support Trump's handling of immigration and the border. 49% disagreed. And Jessica, you put that on top of DHS, which has confirmed that 75% of ICE arrests in Trump's first 100 days were criminals with convictions or pending charges. So I think that's reflected in the majority of Americans saying yes and thank you.
Well, yes and thank you would be more than basically 50-50. So that's within the margin of error. This used to be his best issue, 10-plus points advantage. And there were a couple other recent polls where he was -6 and -11 on immigration. In terms of the stat, about 75% have been convicted or pending charges. Those pending charges are doing a lot of work. And the reverse of it is that 70% of people who have been detained haven't been convicted of anything, which is the threshold for people getting their due process. So there are folks sitting in cells, perhaps waiting for their day in court, or if they're lucky enough to be, sent to a foreign gulag, and they haven't actually been arraigned. No one has seen them in a court of law to decide whether or not they actually committed these crimes. What's going on with Brad Lander, who was accompanying a migrant to his immigration hearing, and he's done this a few times, is broadly speaking where the American people are, which is that if somebody is going about this the right way, if they've been in this country and they have not committed a crime, not been convicted of something, that they should be able to stay here or at least to get their due process. And I think that the images of the masked agents, pulling a candidate for mayor and our comptroller aside are going to be very resonant with folks. Importantly, Donald Trump's policy on immigration seemed like it was changing a couple days ago. Remember when he posted, he said, if people work in agriculture, they shouldn't get picked up. And if people work at hotels, et cetera, like he used to employ a lot of people at his properties. And it seems like Stephen Miller is back in charge. And I think that that's a bad thing for the country. And I think it's a bad thing for the president's immigration policy because that flies in the face of where public opinion is. I don't know why Trump has completely ceded control to Miller in terms of this, but it's not a good look, and it's not going to float well with the governors that run states that have a lot of these people that keep them in business, big agriculture states, big states with, hotels, leisure, et cetera.
But Greg, isn't that the whole point? Right now, the AG is literally investigating local cops for cooperating with ICE. She's probing them, and yet it is a felony to obstruct federal proceedings. That's what we watched play out, was representing Americans.
Look, I mean, again, Us Weekly, somebody's arguing with this person. Some person's in charge of that. Look, here's the big problem. The Democrats almost single-handedly destroyed the appeal and necessity of legal immigration. Invading is just easier than waiting in line. For a party that claims to love immigration, who tells us over and over again, we are a nation of immigrants to no end, you just screwed over millions of legal, ideal immigrants, the ones who played by the rules, by telling them the process doesn't matter. Come along here. And then you demand empathy from us? Where was the empathy for the missing, exploited children? Where was the empathy for the victims of illegal criminals? Where was the empathy for the cities that were burdened by all these people we were paying for their hotel rooms? There's not a single media hack or Democrat that can demand any kind of empathy from us. It's over. Now the adults are in charge. You guys made this mess. You know what? It kills me. You guys created this mess, Democrats, and there's a guy that's trying to correct it, and what do? You sue him. It reminds me of when a guy performs CPR on a crash victim and saves her life, and she sues him for cracking her rib. They don't want to be saved. I want to know why you are stopping this process. It's not about the process. You are using the process as a way to prevent the goal. If you believe that we should have a border, then you should be supporting the process, but you don't really want a border.
Right, Kayleigh, the LA mayor said it's uncertainty in our city now about this, but what about the uncertainty of all of those illegal immigrants that have been accused of crimes and convicted of crimes and the money going toward them instead of vets? I mean, that's uncertainty. That's destability.
Yeah, that's right. And the mayor should take a page from President Trump because she's lost the American public on this issue. I mean, Jessica, you bring up the polling a lot on immigration, and I noticed you dismissed the NBC poll as within the margin of error. But the fact is, President Trump has majority approval on immigration in the NBC poll. I will take that over the lowest approval rating since Jimmy Carter, which is what President Biden had. Democrats have lost the American public. They are hapless. They're flailing around. They don't know what to do. So what are they doing? Stunts. This Brad Lander guy. I consider myself a student of politics. I didn't know Brad Lander, but he got camera time. Then you go to Alex Padilla. He's a sitting senator, yes, but very few people knew him. He wasn't like a Kamala Harris or someone with a ton of notoriety, but he gets camera time. Then you bring in the congressmen and women in Newark who stormed the detention facility. Again, their names evade me. It was all about camera time. Then you get to the guy with the impeachment with the floppy hair who had the animal rights problems in his background. Don't remember that guy's name. They're all performing stunts. They all want to be the face of the resistance. It doesn't work. Trump has majority approval, and yes, put Stephen Miller in charge because he got you majority approval on one of the top issues to the American people. Jesse, what do you think?
Well, we took a poll in November, and 160 million people said the Democrats are crazy. That's a pretty accurate poll. I mean, you seem to know a lot about public opinion, Jessica, but you just got shellacked. The point Greg made is perfect. We're not listening to you anymore on illegal immigration. I love you, Jessica, with all of my heart, but we don't even care what you say anymore. It doesn't even matter.
That's how this relationship really works.
You came in and you wrecked our house. And we're trying to clean it up.
Yeah, it looks
and
great.
not only are you not helping clean us up, but you're criticizing the way we're doing it. Now, if you really cared about getting the illegals out, especially the criminals, you always talk about the criminals, then every time we call an ICE detention center in LA County, can we pick up this bad hombre? He's wanted on sex trafficking charges. Oh, no, sorry, we just let him go. If you really cared about getting the criminals out, you wouldn't have sanctuary cities there to protect them. And I'm sorry, Jessica. You were so wrong about this poll. The 70% number?
Yeah.
Okay. Half of them are people already convicted. The other half had been arrested for DUI, fentanyl trafficking, child rape, and they're just waiting for their trial. And then the other people you say haven't been convicted, you know who they are? Those are people who've already been deported and then came back into the country and get caught again. And they include people who an immigration judge has already ruled they're deported, but they're on the lam. And they include people who are wanted for other crimes in foreign countries. God, I hate having to fact check you every day.
Yeah, I don't think that we were looking at the same poll.
It's the exact same one. I just read it properly.
By the way, that final category you just said, the deported multiple times and foreign crime, that's the status of the guy that was just now charged with attempted murder for throwing Molotov cocktails at law enforcement in LA during the riot.
What a guy.
All right, guys, up next, city-run grocery stores, freezing the rent, reparations. Liberal city Democrats are going socialist. Stay with us.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.